like they were smart about what they did, but like that's the problem. Like you're putting all this effort into like us not being there when the one thing that's been proven to happen again and again is no matter what you do, we're gonna come skate.
In downtown Manhattan, a warm day will push all different kinds of people out of their homes and into the heart of the area, Washington Square Park. Of the many unique characters that call this park home, there's one group that has certainly made their mark.
My name is Emilio Enriquez. I'm a city kid. I grew up in the city. I grew up in all of downtown and Wash and Tompkins and the general chaos of all that. I was put on to Wash, as they say, from a very early age. So I feel like right from the jump, right from like fourth grade, I was already in there. Wash is a place for the people. Like I don't know. I feel like you can go in there and be friends with whoever you want and like enjoy the space.
I am Barbara Stultz. I'm from Maryland originally, and I moved to New York for school in August of 2020. Well, I definitely started learning to skate in Wash, and that was October of 2020. The people that were in the park at that time were really like cool and like nice, and it was still kind of COVID, so Wash was a lot more empty than it is now. Like there wasn't as many just like random people.
As Washington Square Park, or WASH as its locals call it, grows more and more back to pre-pandemic normality, concern grows over who gets to dominate its space. Other members of the community have expressed their concern about the lack of space between skaters and others. But these skaters have something to say about those opinions.
You're in a busy park in the heart of downtown New York City. Like, if you're not ready for a little chaos, then maybe you should stay at home.
Wash is kind of just in the hands of the world in chaos. You gotta leave it there and in the chaos. You know, you can't bother it too much. I think that people are trying to poke it with a stick.
Facing ongoing complaints and criticism, Parks to Park put up 2 cement boulders in front of the skaters' main hangout spot to avoid stair tricks and collisions with passerbyers. Emilio explains, however, why these boulders create an even bigger issue.
Like they knew what they were doing. Those shits are literally designed to like not be skated. The top of them is jagged. All the outside of them is like jagged and cubed out like a pineapple, so you can't like get a clean wally or wall ride. You can't jump onto it. You could like jump over it, but then they moved them away from the stairs, so it's a nice big gap.
Despite this, Emilio and other skaters say they're not going anywhere. I spoke to Professor Arthur Tannenbaum from NYU's College of Arts and Sciences, who says he disagrees.
Nothing is here to stay. One phase promotes another. When I was here in the 1960s and listening to the folk music and the guitars, I thought this was going to stay forever. The skateboarders will be here until either they're evicted by the force of more control over the park, or because they will be swept away by another group of even a younger generation with their own activities. I think they're in the park because they want to be visible, they want to be seen, they want people to see how courageous and inventive they are. Now, why the parks people would have ever tried to help the skateboarders is beyond me.
Across all my interviews, this seems to be the common thread. Amongst a wave of criticisms over skateboarders in the park and the continuation of their presence, police and park deputies seem to be doing close to nothing to intervene on the situation.
There's the big sign, like by the arch, it's like no skating. But then you see skaters out there all the time, and like even when the park department comes up and talks, they're like, oh, you can't skate here right now, but you can wait until 5:45.
There's much less police regulation now in the park than there was before the pandemic.
But I honestly think that the way that like the Parks Department constantly be like, no skating, but then like you will literally see at any given time skaters skating and no one saying anything to them, like probably is just hurting it all more than it is helping it in terms of like the skaters taking it seriously, because at this point like they've already told us that we can't skate there and we're still skating there. So like, what else are they gonna do unless something gets violent?
Yeah.
So the question remains, what lies next for the skaters of Washington Square Park? Will police finally listen to complaints, or will park visitors and skateboarders be able to find a middle ground of peace and shared space between each other? One thing's for sure, these skaters aren't going anywhere quite yet. Live from Cooper Squared, this is Gabriella Dotres.